What is going on, my friends? It's Anthony DiFiglio here, back again with another video, and today we're going to be checking out the Boss OD-20 distortion pedal from Boss Pedals. Before we get into today's video, if you would like to see more content like this, be sure to subscribe and hit that bell right down below. Now, we're going to be reviewing a really cool pedal today. So today we have a Boss OD-20. This is a really cool pedal because, it does have, I think, hence the name OD-20. It has about 20 different overdrive and distortion pedals all in one, which is really cool. And I gotta say, this isn't mine. This is actually a good friend of mine's that actually was, lent it to me, and he was really kind enough and very generous of him. But of course, that's besides the point. We're here for the pedal. It's got, of course, a drive, a bottom, a tone control, level, and an attack shape where you can either go smooth or go edge, whatever that means. We'll probably go more into detail with that. And then there's a heavy octave where you can do where you can make it go an octave or something, some sort of pitch variation thing. Hard for me to explain on camera, but I'll of course show demo clips later on. But of course, what's really neat and what really got me into really wanting to try this pedal was the fact that it had the HM2 or MT2, which is basically the Boss heavy metal pedal that has that Swedish death metal tone, so I could play some of my favorite in-tune riffs, and I'll show that later on, of course. But yeah, it's got an OD1, OD2, BD2, DS1, HM2, MT2, a boost lead or a crunch stack, and then a metal loud. Not sure if the ones in the yellow are separate, but we also have a T-Scream, a Foldy, a Distortion Plus, and a Senta OD, a Gov DS, a P-Rat, an R-Man, whatever that is, and then Muff Fuzz, I don't know what that one is, and then a face and an octave fuzz. And there's a variation button as well, but there's so much to this pedal, honestly. I'm gonna just try to showcase this with you guys as best I can because there's a lot that this pedal can do. I mean, there's a lot. It's very detail oriented, although it's not learning how to use an Axe Effects or something. There's so many distortions, there's so many variables, so much tweaking that you have to do. It's just one of those things, if you know what I mean. For those that don't know me that well, I'm not really a distortion pedal guy. I've always been the type of person that likes to get the distortion from the main source of the amp, whether it be a 6505 Plus, Kemper, Mesa, whatever amp, metal amp or hard rock amp I'm using. But I gotta say, something that does, differ about this Boss OD-20 pedal specifically is the fact that it does have, fuzz, type distortions, and it does, of course, my favorite, the HM2, which is, like I mentioned earlier, the Swedish death metal tone. So I think that's really neat that you can tweak with that and you can really find a lot of sounds. That being said, I plugged this right into both my 6505 Plus and my Mesa over here, and it sounds good. It really reacts well to the tubes on the clean channel. Of course, I set this on the clean channel for obvious reasons, but that's besides the point. But there's just a lot that this pedal can do. So what I'm going to do when I flip it over to the demo clips is I'm going to try my best to capture each one of these sounds with, the variables being set to their best, so I can give you guys a good, accurate representation of this pedal, and then we'll talk furthermore. See you guys on the other side. playing those demo clips and really testing this pedal out to see what potential it has and to see what other modes there are, there's so much to this pedal that I couldn't even cover every single ground that this pedal can do. It's just a really, like, it's not too complicated, but it's one of those things where there's a lot of settings and a lot of variables and variations that you can do with it in terms of, like, you know, the level control, you know, attack and shade, then you have the heavy octane, you know, you got some fuzzes, you got some, you know, overdrives, distortions, you know, and tube screamer type, you know, distortion type things, which is really cool. And it's definitely handy, you know, for those that, you know, have a clean amp. So, which leads me to my next point. What do I think of this pedal? I think that this pedal is a good value. Boss never disappoints. They're built like a tank. They last forever. They as long as you know, of course, you take care of them and, you know, you use them properly, as always, as usual, for obvious reasons. But if you put this with a clean amp, I really do think it is a good buy. Hence why I am giving this a 8 out of 10 guitar picks. There's some distortions that are not necessarily my taste, and that's just my opinion. Don't take it personally. But the amount of options that you have with this is a great buy. And I think that if you can find one of these for like a really good price, I think it is worth the investment if you have a clean amp and you don't want to spend an arm and leg on, say, like a Marshall, or you don't want to spend your, you know, hard-earned money on a Mesa, or even like a PD of some sort or something. You know, if you want something that's a great compromise without completely breaking the bank, I think this is a good compromise, and I would recommend it in that regard. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that subscribe, hit the like right down below. I'm Anthony DiFiglio, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.